Under polymorphism, we'll be discussing two topics, overriding and overloading. Overridden methods are methods that are redefined within an inherited or subclass. They have the same signature and the subclass definition is used. The key benefit of overriding is the ability to define behavior that's specific to a particular subclass. Here we have listed some rules for method overriding. Basically, it should satisfy the following rules. The first is the argument list should be exactly the same as that of the overridden method. Let's look at the following code. Class super is having a method called test which takes two integer parameters and a string. Class sub, which extends super, is overriding the test method. It's a valid overriding because it has the same argument list with two integers and a string. The next rule is the return type should be the same or a subtype of the return type declared in the original overridden method in the superclass. The access level cannot be more restrictive than the overridden method's access level. For example, if the superclass method is declared public, then the overriding method in the subclass cannot be either private or public. However, the access level can be less restrictive than the overridden method's access level. According to this code, class sub overrides the test method of the class super. This method's access level is default. So, if we mark the overridden method as private, it will give us a compilation error. But marking the test method with public or protected modifiers would be fine. Some other rules which we should follow for method overriding is listed here. Instance methods can be overridden only if they are inherited by the subclass. A method declared final cannot be overridden. A method declared static cannot be overridden but can be redeclared. Only accessible non-static methods can be overridden. Static methods can be hidden. You can declare a static method in the subclass with the same signature as a static method in the superclass. The superclass method will not be accessible from a subclass reference. And also, if a method cannot be inherited, then it cannot be overridden. A subclass within the same package as the instance's superclass can override any superclass method that is not declared private or final. Fields cannot be overridden, but they can be hidden. If you declare a field in a subclass with the same name as one in the superclass, the superclass field can be accessed using super or the superclass's type. A subclass in a different package can only override the non-final methods declared public or protected. An overriding method can throw any unchecked exceptions, regardless of whether the overridden method throws exceptions or not. However, the overridden method should not throw checked exceptions that are new or broader than the ones declared by the overridden method. The overriding method can throw narrower or fewer exceptions than the overridden method. You can have multiple overloaded methods in a class but only one overriding method. In subclass, it overrides the test method in super, but the second overriding is invalid because we already have an overridden version of test method. Different access modifiers are not part of method signature for naming purposes. Constructor in a superclass cannot be overridden as they are not inherited. A construct in the same class cannot be overridden as they would both have the same signatures. If we do so, we get an already declared compiler error. When instantiating a subclass object, and if the superclass constructor calls a method that is overridden in the subclass, the subclass method will call from the superclass constructor, not the one in the superclass. According to this code, if we create an object of type sub, it will invoke the subclass's constructor. In each constructor, the first line is a call to the superclass's constructor. Therefore, once it calls the superclass's constructor, it will print in superconstructor and call the test method. Now, which version of test method will be called here? It is the superclass's test method. So, according to that, it will print in sub.test method. Then it returns back to its constructor and finally prints in subconstructor. The output for the previous code is listed here. Now let's see where the super keyword is used. When invoking a superclass version of an overridden method, the super keyword is used. In the following code, the dog class needs to invoke the animal class's move method. Since dog is an animal, we can use the super keyword to invoke it.